Rockies enjoying themselves immensely as they come into this contest tonight against the Arizona Diamondbacks at 75-60. Arizona 61-75. Again, we glance, as we do each night, at the NL West and the wild card. The Rockies 4.5 behind the Dodgers, who lost last night. The Giants have already won. It went final about 45 minutes ago. They beat the Milwaukee Brewers 3-2 once again. And good evening, everybody. I'm Drew Goodman. What a thrilling, inspirational win last night for the Rockies in come-from-behind fashion yet again. They win 5-4 over Arizona, and the gentleman you just heard from, Jason Giambi, again in the middle of things with a go-ahead RBI single in the 8th inning, and the Rockies go on to win by 1 behind Franklin Morales, who is filling in right now for Houston Street and doing a very nice job, I might add. Let me bring in Jeff Houston. Tonight, the Rockies, who've gotten a big lift from Jason Giambi, hope to get a big lift from a veteran pitcher, Jose Contreras, who will make his debut tonight.
Well, and they're hoping to maybe catch a little lightning in a bottle from him. He had not been pitching very well in the American League. You see the numbers, 5-13. 5.42 ERA. And when he came over, he said, you know what, I think something's wrong with my mechanics. Well, he sat down with Bob Apodaca and realized it's not a whole lot about mechanics other than staying back on that back leg a little bit more, allowing him to get his arm out onto the front side. And he's a guy, though, when you think about this, he's won a World Series game. He's played in the All-Star game. And he's also a guy that's kind of rebirth over here in the National League, because it's an easier league in the fact that you don't have the DH. And so when you go out there, you got maybe a spot or two where you have a little bit of breathing room, and that's what you're looking for tonight. It's kind of a wild card, though. I mean, the Rockies don't know what they're going to get. Bob Apodaca, Jim Tracy, they're not sure what's going to happen tonight. They're just going to go out there and watch him pitch.
Jim Tracy was very honest. He said, I have no expectations. I know that this guy has done a lot of very good things in his big league career, particularly late in seasons, in the postseason. He said, let's see what happens. So they'll be watching just like us. When we come back, we'll talk about one of the newest heroes for the Rockies. He's long in the tooth as well, Jason Giambi. Rockies get ready to take on the Arizona Diamondbacks. So far in this homestand, they're 3-1. As they have another 6 ball games before they depart for San Diego. Upstairs again with Jeff Houston, I'm Drew Goodman. How about that Jason Giambi? You know, there's some names in the game that you admire from afar, but you figured they'll never play for your team. Well, guess what? Jason Giambi's a Rocky. He's enjoying himself, and they're loving having him on their side.
Well, and he's come in and he's done exactly what you had hoped he would do. Win you 1 or 2, 3 ball games, and that's what he's done. He's come in, got the walk with the bases loaded to drive in a run, and to me, the next 2 are really key because as a pinch hitter, a lot of times you're looking for that home run, but no, he goes with the pitch on each one of these balls, hits them up the middle to the other way, drives in the runs. 4 RBIs now, three RBIs now, and you look at it, he's just a professional pinch hitter. That's all he is now because he goes up there and he takes what they give him.
Actually,
and that's the key.
He did. You know, he wasn't trying to hit the ball in the second deck, which we know he can. You know, everybody knows he can do that. He took what was given to him, and he lined 2 singles to center. By the way, you were right the first time.
It was 4 RBIs.
4 RBIs and 3
I forgot about the double.
Plate appearances. Pretty good stuff. All right, we are ready for baseball. The Rockies and the Diamondbacks. Jose Contreras' debut with Colorado. Come on back to 20th and Blake with us. Rockies and Diamondbacks getting set from Coors Field. A.J. Hinch, who took over earlier this year as manager of the Arizona Diamondbacks for Bob Melvin. Here's his lineup tonight. Somewhat similar to last night. Steven Drew up top, then Ryan Roberts, Justin Upton, who the Rockies kept quiet last night. Hopefully we'll be able to do that again. Miguel Montero, Gerardo Parra, Brandon Allen, Chad Tracy, who always hits the Rockies hard. He's in the 7-hole, Chris Young in the 8-hole. You'll notice that Mark Reynolds is absent from the lineup tonight. Still recovering from that illness, getting a day off. Let's take a look at the Fidelity scouting report on 37-year-old Jose Contreras.
And he can still get it up there 90 to 95 miles an hour. We'll work right around the 92 mile an hour with a slider and a split that will go downwards. And part of the problem with Jose is that, talking to a bunch of scouts, he said he's just not trusting his fastball enough. Well, if he can get the fastball working, that makes that split so much better.
So here we go, and his first pitch in a Rockies uniform, plenty of fastball at 91 for a strike. You and I were doing a little research last night, Huey, and one of the things that just was shocking for a guy who throws 90 to 95 is that he's throwing his fastball this year, as this ball's hit a long way to right, and Spielberg runs it down. That was hit a ton by Stephen Drew, a long out. I'll finish that thought I had in a moment. Let's take a look at that replay. As Spielberg's playing right for Brad Hopp tonight.
Well, it's all about the jump. I mean, that's what allowed Ryan to go get this ball away from Stephen Drew, hit it into the gap, got it off the end just a little bit. I mean, he still hit it well to hit it there, but it wasn't one of those things. It just kept on carrying. But the route that Ryan took was the perfect route to be able to go over there, leap up at the last instant to catch it.
Ryan Roberts steps in. You know, this is not a knock very quickly on Brad Hopp. Spielberg's runs a lot better than Brad does. Brad probably doesn't get to that baseball.
No, I would agree with you. It was just the jump, too, that Ryan got that allowed him that first drop step.
That was nasty, 0-2. To finish the thought on Contreras, you and I were doing some homework last night. He's throwing his fastball, and a guy who's got plenty of fastball, less than 50% of the time. That's unheard of.
Yeah, it really is, because he still throws above 90 miles an hour. Now, if he's an 85 to 87 mile an hour guy, it's a little different.
And the 0-2 pitch a little too good, and it's swatted up the middle by Roberts. So Roberts is aboard, and that'll bring up Justin Upton. Let's take a look at the Rockies defensively tonight. In the outfield, Seth Smith, who had 4 hits last night in left field. Carlos Gonzalez continues to do everything well. Spielberg, as we mentioned, for Hopp. Stewart, Tulowitzki, Barmes, and Helton in the infield. Torrealba is behind the plate. Roberts bounces off first, and Contreras has that pitch over.
That last fastball was 95 miles an hour, and that's what you're talking about. Go ahead and trust that, because that's good. Now when you throw the slider behind that or the split finger, it has better action on it and puts a doubt in the hitter's mind.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing to me. Last year, the Rockies went out and signed Livan Hernandez. And if you told me, well, Livan is throwing his fastball less than 50% of the time, I get it. You know,
sure.
He's in the low 80s. He throws that 3 different curveballs and a changeup and all. You know, he kind of he's a finesse right-handed pitcher. This guy's still got plenty of arms.
Still overpowering at times. So you don't need to be quite the finesse pitcher like Hernandez was.
This is a pop-up left side. Tulowitzki going out. And Troy has it. 2 outs. Let's take a look at our Burt Automotive keys to victory tonight for the Rockies.
Oh, no Reynolds tonight with his 40 home runs and 91 RBIs, getting the night off, still battling that flu bug he had a little bit. Top to bottom offense. Everybody contributed last night in some way. I mean, whether it was a sack bunt or a base hit, RBI, everybody was there, and then third time's a charm. Yeah, Yoeli Chacin, Josh Fogg all had their opportunities to make the spot start in Aaron Cook's spot. Let's see if Contreras can be the guy to fill that for a while.
And that pitch misses, ball 1 on Miguel Montero. Montero with a 297 average. He has hit in all 8 ball games he's played against the Rockies this year. 10 for 29 at 345 average, 3 home runs. He's driven in 10. 2-0. Contreras is a native of Cuba. He defected a number of years ago. A couple good years with the Yankees and several very good seasons with the White Sox. Good pitch. He located that fastball well, Jeff.
Well, exactly where Yorvi Torrealba wanted it. 2-0, because Montero really likes, even for a shorter guy in stature, he likes to get those arms extended, and they tied him up inside. And one way Contreras does that, especially against the lefty, he really moves around on the rubber out there, where for a left-hander, he starts more on the first base side. For a right-hander, it's more on the third base side.
Roberts at first, 2 outs. We're just underway at Coors Field.
Roberts, 7 stolen bases, only been caught 3 times.
How much of a factor, Hugh? You come in from shortstop all the time when the catcher would go out and meet with the pitcher. Even if a guy doesn't speak a lot of English, and Jose does not speak a ton of English, the fact that you have a fellow Latino behind the plate in Torrealba who speaks the same language, does that mean anything this low? Because even if Chris Iannetta was back there, he's going to be able to communicate pitcher terminology with a guy who's been in the big leagues as long as Contreras. But, I mean, is there anything there at all?
No, I don't think so for a guy that's played as long as Contreras had. Now, if he was a rookie, yeah, it might have a little bit of bearing where you feel a little bit more comfortable because you both speak the same language.
On the ground to second. Easy play for Clint Barmas, and a good start for Jose Contreras. Little help from Ryan Spilborghs, robbing Stephen Drew initially. The Rockies with the bats when we come back. Richie Dower going over signs with Contreras and Torrealba. I think Torrealba was being the interpreter. Jim Tracy in his first season as Rockies manager. And they have been 25 games north of 500 for Tracy. Carlos Gonzalez will lead it off. Then Seth Smith at 308 now. Todd Helton fourth in the league with that 325 batting average. Tulowitzki, Spilborghs will bat in the 5-hole tonight. Ian Stewart is homering each of his last 2 games. Yorvik Torrealba is hitting 13 straight. That leads the entire big leagues right now. And then Clint Barmas and Jose Contreras. Doug Davis, 9 starts against the Rockies, 2-5, a high ERA. And the Rockies, the last time they saw him, beat him up. He couldn't get out of the 3rd inning. And this ball's walloped to center field. I mean, crushed. Rockies take a 1-0 lead. Talk about starting with a bang. Number 10 for Carlos Gonzalez.
Well, second pitch of the ball game. High fastball for ball 1, and then he just tattoos the very next pitch that he sees. That ball was about thigh high, middle of the plate. Hyundai Cam will show just the extension from Gonzalez. The leg kick, get that foot back down, and then the hip rotation and drive through the baseball. That had a loud sound, Drew. Oh, my.
You know what? How many leadoff hitters can hit the ball 440? Seth Smith, who hits some leadoff, can hit the ball 440. I don't want to get over the top. I know it's been a couple of months that since he's kind of fully arrived where all the tools are playing out on a day-to-day basis for Carlos Gonzalez. But I can't think of many guys who do all the things that he does at the level he's capable of doing it.
Well, and that's why you think about this now. Is he's one of those complete five-tool players that we talk about.
But Hugh, to that point, go ahead.
But here's another thing too. He's finally at like the year mark at the big league level, so he's starting to piece it all together now. I mean, it's not like you think about it, it's just 20, 30 games into it. He's climbed over that year mark, and to me, that's a huge stepping stone.
You know, it's a great point, and I want to throw something out at you. That was his 193rd at bat. That's it. His 193rd at bat. This is pop, foul, get out of play. It will. So basically, Gonzalez, an everyday player, he's going to get 600 at bats starting next April.
Yep.
So in a third of the season, he's on pace then to hit 30 home runs.
He has 10 stolen bases.
He's got 10. That's 30-30. We know how unique that crowd is. And oh, by the way, he can chase everything down, and don't you dare run on him.
He's got the arm.
He's got the arm. And he's hitting right around 300.
Well, what I like too is we're seeing everything come together at one time now. You're seeing that rose just kind of bloom. I mean, you always talk about these guys that have this tool or that tool. Well, it's very rare that you'll get a guy that has all five of them.
Special talent. Inside on Smith, 2-2. I mean, that was a kaboom.
Yeah, that was dead center field. That was loud.
And the thing that people are going to see, and they saw on Wednesday night during our mic'd up segment where he wore the microphone during batting practice, he's got a wonderful personality. He's a bright, handsome kid. He speaks English exceptionally well.
Yeah, all those things just work in his advantage. And he's just a joy to be around.
Yeah. This ball is ripped to right. This is going to go to the wall. Seth Smith picking up where he left off last night. Now Upton has a problem with it. And Smith is going to end up at third base. For Doug Davis, it's deja vu all over again, to quote Yogi.
Yep. Those last two starts against the Rockies have not been good. In 2 games, just 7 1/3 innings, 12 earned runs for an ERA of 14.73, and a lot of balls that were hit very, very hard. And 2 balls so far tonight that have been hit hard.
Here's Helton. And a ground ball that is picked up by Allen, and with the out, the Rockies score their second run. So Todd with the infield back, hit it on the ground to the right side, and he gets RBI number 74. That was a double and an error on Upton, his 10th error this year, which is a ton for an outfielder. Let's take a look at the Fidelity scouting report on a veteran guy who's had a lot of success at the big league level, Doug Davis.
Yeah, but not overpowering. 82 to 87 miles an hour. Sit right around that 85 mile an hour mark. Big breaker. And it's more like a 1 to 7 breaker. It's not the 12 to 6 that we talk about. And then the changeup that'll fade away. But with all the left-handers in the lineup tonight for the Rockies, I mean, we saw 3 right in a row. Then you have Ian Stewart out there. To me, it takes away that changeup that he has, where it comes into play more for the right-handed hitters than it does for the lefties.
Now, why would that be?
Because their changeup, left-handers, when they throw it to righties, where do they always like to work it? They like to work it down and away in the zone. Well, that's right in the sweet spot of a left-handed hitter. And we've seen what happens when you're not able to throw a breaking pitch for a strike at 85 miles an hour to a lefty. The ball gets hit hard.
2-0's in there, 2-1 on Tulowitzki. Center fielder Chris Young has shaded him toward right center field. A lot of Tulowitzki's extra base hits and home runs have gone out to right center.
And that's your approach against a guy like Davis. You have to think that way.
Yeah, if you tried to say, oh man, it's a soft tosser, I'm going to get out around the baseball, that's when he gets you out, isn't it?
You'll just corkscrew yourself into the ground. You just start swinging, and next thing you know, the ball has not even gotten to you yet. And you'll hit a dribbler to the shortstop or the third baseman. but he's not overpowering enough. Even though he can cut the ball into right-handers, he's not overpowering enough that if you don't think the opposite gap that he comes in, you can still pull your hands in and pull it to left field.
Tried to touch the outside corner and he missed. It's 3-2. That fastball at 83 miles an hour. Doug Davis, your typical veteran soft tossing lefty. Where the word crafty comes in, the adjective to describe guys like Davis. 2-0 Colorado already. And this ball pulled to Stephen Drew. And that was a perfect example of what you were talking about.
Yeah, he just got out and around it and hit it right to the shortstop, and all he had to do was make the backhand throw and over to first base.
Let's take a look at the defense tonight for Arizona. Gerardo Parra's in left. Chris Young, very good center fielder. Justin Upton, big arm in right. Excuse me. Chad Tracy, Stephen Drew, left side. Ryan Roberts, Brandon Allen on the right side, and Miguel Montero's behind the plate. So the birthday boy, Ryan Spilborgh's 30 today, takes ball one. And you heard off the top of the broadcast, Tom Helmer inform everybody that the last time he played on his birthday was 2006. He had a big day, 3 for 4. And this is popped up and playable for Brandon Allen. Allen makes the catch. That is out number 3. But the Rockies start quickly. Carlos Gonzalez with a long home run to center field. And then a double by Seth Smith. The Rockies got 2 runs. With Alana Rizzo with this evening's Mike Shaw Auto Update. Good evening, Alana.
Good evening to you and to Jeff Houston as well, Drew. I want to talk a little bit more about Jim Tracy on Jose Contreras. He said, you know what, I don't have any expectations for this guy. There isn't a pitch count. I don't have any innings I expect him to eat up. He said he's pitched long enough at this level where he doesn't have a pitch count that he has to adhere to or be taken out of the game if he reaches it. He said, you know what, I haven't seen him recently, but I've seen him in the past, and when I did see him, he was a very, very special player. People did not like facing him. That's exactly what Paul Phillips told me today about Jose Contreras, because Paul Phillips caught Contreras in spring training when they were both in the White Sox organization. Jim Tracy was also saying, you know, he has a lot of arm angles, a lot of arm slots. He said, I doubt very seriously that his stuff and his repertoire has changed very much. People don't like facing this guy. He goes, I'm just as excited as everybody else to see how well he does tonight. So far, so good, guys.
Yeah, and Jeff, you played a long time in the big leagues, and we use this term change of scenery, and it has become a cliche in sports, but it's a cliche because a lot of times it does apply.
Well, just a different set of eyes, too, to see a guy like Contreras who's had success at the big league level, and then this year just wasn't having it. But he comes over here, a little change of scenery, different voice, and now from the Hyundai cam, we'll see that split finger that we talk about, but it was set up because of that fastball. And that almost looks like a knuckleball the way it come out of that hand, and he really turned that hand over to get the action going away from the left-handed hitter.
You know what's interesting about his splitter is Brandon Allen steps in, and he takes a fastball for a strike at 93. His splitter is different from most guys' splitters. Most guys, let's say they throw 93. Dan Herron, perfect example, one of the best splitters in the game. His splitter is 85 to 87. I mean, it's... Uh-oh, this ball's hit a bunch. That's a home run to right for Allen off the facade of the second deck, and it's 2-1 for Brandon Allen, his third home run. Now, he was in the same system with Jose Contreras till recently. Came over from the White Sox for Tony Pena.
You're probably facing two in those inter-squad games that you have to start spring training, so it's not like it's an unfamiliar guy. A fastball that ran back over the inner third part of the plate, and Allen just got extended on the boy. That ball got out in a hurry.
Chad Tracy at the plate, slider for a strike, but his splitter is probably about 15, 18 miles an hour slower than his fastball.
Well, he just spreads his fingers way out. We saw it from the Hyundai cam how wide his fingers got it, and you can judge the speed by how wide you split them. If you hold them a little closer together, you're going to get a harder split as far as harder miles per hour.
That's a splitter, and Tracy way out front 1-2.
Well, and the thing with Jose too, before the ball game, look at how wide he's getting his fingers. He's warming up with the softball to really split those fingers out. I mean, that just hurts looking at it.
Yeah, that doesn't look that.
But then
let's not show that shot anymore. That really didn't look comfortable.
But think about the last split finger, though, that we're going to see. That's why the action on this, as we can see, is more like the knuckleball, because his fingers are so wide from putting it and using that softball before the game.
Did he go around? Yes, he did. Chad Tracy's gone. Second strikeout of the inning. I don't want to go bowling with Jose. I'm just thinking, you know,
yeah,
his warm-up routine's different from mine.
Right. But that's the harder splitter that he throws, where he's trying to get you to strike out because you got the 2 strikes, and Chad Tracy just couldn't hold up. And with that split finger tonight, a lot of pressure is going to be on Yor Victoriano. We saw him block that last ball to get the strikeout of Tracy. There's going to be a lot of pressure on him behind the plate, too, to catch it, and being a little unfamiliar with Contreras as we move forward.
Chris Young at the plate, the struggling Chris Young. Young last night had a single and 4 at-bats. 4 for 48 over his last 48 big league at-bats, and he was sent out to Reno for a while, which would have been unfathomable a couple of seasons ago to think Chris Young would be in the big leagues. And he lifts this to shallow center field. Barmas going out. In the inning, Brandon Allen hits a long home run, a solo home run. Rockies have the lead 2-1. He throws that pitch about 25% of the time.
Well, he's just trying to get that wrist action too. And that's why he's throwing it down on the ground. Very soft ball that he'll get, so he can get that snap of the wrist at the last instant.
Ian Stewart is at the plate. Inside, Stewart has had success matching up with Doug Davis. He's 3 for 5 with a home run against Davis. The Rockies are 22-22 against left-handed starters. There are many scouts that believe the Rockies are susceptible down the stretch, and if the Rockies get to the postseason, against left-handed starters because they have so many left-handed hitters. Davis, as you pointed out, a different animal because he's not a low to mid 90s guy.
Yeah, he's not overpowering. That makes the difference. When you look at it, I mean, tonight there's 4 left-handers in the lineup for the Rockies. Typically there's 5 with Brad Hopp. He's just getting the night off tonight to get a little work in the cage downstairs with Don Baylor after the 4 strikeouts last night. But right-handers going for the next 5 games. Jim Tracy said he's going to be back in there starting tomorrow.
But let me point this out. Carlos Gonzalez, before the home run against Davis, was hitting .314 against lefties. Todd Helton hitting just under .300 against lefties. 2 guys who play every day left on left. Seth Smith hitting .314 against lefties, and Smith has become more or less a fixture in that Rockies lineup. So 3 of your lefties are hitting at or above .300 left on left. Here's the 0-1 on Torrealba outside. Fans, feed your Rockies fever at Taco Bell. If the Rockies score 7 or more runs during any ball game, go to participating Colorado Taco Bell locations the next day between 4 and 6. Feed your fever with 4 tacos for $1. That is a steal. Torrealba didn't bite. 2 balls and a strike on Yorvi. I guess A-Rod got shut out last night because it's now just Torrealba with a 13-game hitting streak, the longest in baseball.
We had to wait till that last at bat last night and then score the winning run.
And this ball driven foul. It wasn't just the last at bat. As you mentioned, where he got the hit, it was an enormous hit. He led off the 8th inning in a 4-4 game with a single. Clint Barmas, a pretty sacrificed bunt to get him to second, and then Jason Giambi off the bench, and a lot of folks surprised that Arizona elected to pitch to him with a right-hander, and Giambi delivered. 3-2. Huey, you can tell, and you got locked in. You know the feeling when there's a borderline pitch or you're seeing the ball well out of the hand. Torrealba, you can just tell how quiet he was at the plate.
And that's what happens when you're going well. You're seeing the ball. You're quiet at the plate. When you're not, you're jumpy. Everything works against you.
And a base hit. It's a 14-game hitting streak for Yorvi Torrealba with a 1-out knock in the second. And Yorvi, in the past, Huey, at times, like a lot of hitters, because he's strong, sometimes they'll get a little big with their swing. Everything he's done the last few weeks has been right in the middle of the diamond. Yeah,
if not to right field. I mean, I'm trying to think the last time he really just pulled the ball down the left field line for any hard hit. A lot of his is just hitting it right where the pitcher throws it, right back up the middle, taking it the other way like he did last night in the 8th inning. I mean, he is just in one of those great grooves as a hitter. And good for him, too. I mean, because he's getting those at-bats now, and he's putting them together. And Jim Tracy said, you know what? It's his for a while because of what he's doing offensively. He's calling a good ball game behind the plate. He deserves to be out there.
2-0 on Barmas. Absolutely. I mean, think about it. His last 21 starts, Jeff, the Rockies are 16-5. So it's not just the offense. It's the fact that he's handling things, defensively, calling a good game. The Rockies have a luxury. They have 2 guys that would start for a lot of clubs behind the plate. This ball's pulled foul. 2-1. By the way, with that base hit for Torrealba and a 14-game hitting streak, it ties the Rockies team record for longest hitting streak by a catcher. And you know the gentleman he taught. He's the current manager of the New York Yankees, Joe Girardi. He did it back in May of 1995. It's a long run for Upton, and he's not going to get there.
Well, Upton was really playing Clint to pull. He was way over into the right center field gap. And here's where Davis likes to really go soft away to get you to roll over on the ground ball.
It's down the line. We talk about this periodically, Jeff. Were you somebody that would move around in the batter's box a little bit? Because Barmes is in the back of the box, even against a soft tosser. And some guys, they just have a comfort zone, and they're not going to move no matter whether the guy throws 95 to 100 or in Davis's case, in the low 80s.
It's a personal preference. I would move a little bit, but not in an extreme amount where it would be a foot or so. I might move 3 or 4 inches, but that's huge.
And this is a soft liner that's going to drop. Torrealba is second. Barmes with a base hit. And they're 2 aboard for Jose Contreras, who will try to move them up. Let's take a look at our Exempla injury report, brought to you by Exempla Lutheran Medical Center. Dexter Fowler's playing tonight with the Drillers at Tulsa. And he's going to play 7 innings in center field. They're going to back off tomorrow. He'll get 4 bats as a DH, maybe more, depending on how that ball game goes. And then he'll play a full 9 innings on Monday in center field. Dexter was excited to go out. Originally, he was going to go play with Colorado Springs, but they were in Tacoma, and they were expecting weather, amazingly enough, in the Pacific Northwest. Contreras pulls it back. So I said to Dexter as he's packing his bags, I said, you know what? You still will have never played a game at AAA.
That's right.
And he had thought about it. He goes,
yeah, that's right. That would have been his first appearance if he would have gone down there and played for the Sky Sox.
When the Rockies brought him up last year, it was directly from the Texas League, AA baseball, playing for the Tulsa Drillers. Contreras is going to bunt, folks. He does not have a big league hit. He's 0 for 26 in his big league career. He'd been bunting anyhow. And that's a pretty good bunt. Now Carlos Gonzalez will come up with 2 in scoring position. And that's his first big league sac bunt. How about that?
Nothing to
That's
this game.
Basically, that's the first time he's gone to the plate and he got attaboys when he went back to the dugout. Right?
Yeah, that's right. You just put the barrel out there, dropped it right in front of the home plate area. Davis, all he could do was pick it up and throw him out at first base.
National League
yeah,
game's fun.
Yeah, high
it's
fives,
easy.
fist bumps all the way around.
I'm used to getting that after a good inning. Hey, 1, 2, 3 inning, that a baby. Here's Gonzalez. Boy, he had a pitch to hit right there that he
That was almost
fouled
like
off.
his first one. Here he is practicing earlier today.
How's his technique, Coach?
Not bad. Could have the barrel up a little bit closer to his eyes, but not. I like the hand right there. That's coming off the end of the knob just a little bit. He's working hard, though. He's really studying that.
It's 0-2 on Gonzalez. Montero's going to go out and meet with Davis. Carlos Gonzalez, at the bottom of the first inning, hit a ball that went halfway to Fort Collins. 10th home run of the year. If your windshield's damaged, please call Colorado's #1 team, Elite Safelite Auto Glass, 303-287-5000, online at safelight.com. Rockies up 2-1. And Gonzalez is gone on a breaking ball. Doug Davis didn't even realize that was 3 outs. Rockies lead 2 in scoring position. They're up a run. Jeff Houston, Alana Rizzo. We surveyed some folks in the clubhouse about Rockies' team chemistry.
I mean, bringing Giambi in, I mean, come on. I mean, it's an unbelievable move. I mean, the guy's great. Obviously, what guys do on the field is different for me. But in here, he fitted perfect. All the guys that they bring in, Rafael Betancourt, the reason why I came back, it's the character of the people in here. There's people that care about each other, not just themselves. That's the difference.
Now, the Rockies for several years have had a reputation throughout baseball for having a very tight-knit clubhouse. This ball poked down the line, foul by Davis, 0-2.
Well, so many times you're in a clubhouse and guys are selfish. And it's not so much about winning. It's about, well, how did I do tonight? What happened with my numbers? Because of it, I mean, let's be honest, that's how you get paid in this game. But the bottom line is, do you win? I mean, everybody wants to be associated with a winner. But it takes all 25 guys to be on the same page as far as that goes and truly go out there and realize, you know what, if I sacrifice myself for the team at this at-bat, that somebody else will repay me down the road. And it'll all be a wash in the end. We'll be a winning team. Everybody gets the kudos, and everybody's happy. Because at this level, it's all about winning at the end. I mean, that's why you play the game, to win.
I think some, fans, and why not? I mean, hardly a day goes by that you don't read about the enormous money that is a huge part of professional sports. But when the guys take the field, Jeff, yeah, you ultimately want to get well compensated, etc. But it is about winning. It is about winning championships.
That's right. All that, you don't even realize that when you go out onto the field, when it comes to game time. You just want to see, hey, can I count on that guy that I'm playing next to? Can I count on that guy that's hitting in front of me or behind me?
That misses. Three and 0 on Drew. And ball 4. So Drew walks. First walk allowed by Jose Contreras. And that'll bring up Ryan Roberts, who singled up the middle. Contreras in his career 70 and 63. He's the 5th Cuban-born player in Colorado Rockies history. The other 4, Eli Marrero, Vladimir Nunez, Rolando Arroyo, and last year Livan Hernandez. There's a strike. When the White Sox won it all, and they had that great run of starting pitching in 2005, Game 1 of the World Series was started by Jose Contreras.
Yeah, beat the Houston Astros during those 4 postseason starts that year. I mean, he's 3-1 with an ERA just right above 3. Nice pick from Todd Helton.
That's a strike as well, 1 and 2.
The thing with Jose, too, is if he realizes, you know what, I can work ahead with that fastball, then get to the split finger, but also use the defense behind me. And you got a pretty good defense out there that not quite, it's better than what he had with the White Sox. So he can rely on those guys a lot more.
Well, he gets the punch out of Roberts. That was a nasty slider. He's thrown a couple of very good sliders tonight. Strikeout number 3 for Contreras. 2 outs. Justin Upton will come up. Our fun fact brought to you by Excel Energy. Jose Contreras is 70 wins, 9th all-time among Cuban-born pitchers. Luis Tiant at 229. That's the most ever. Livan Hernandez, #1 among all active players with 154. When it comes time to save money at home, check your water heater. 120 is the magic number. Swung on and missed. Overheating your water beyond 120 can be wasteful and unsafe. Learn more energy facts at responsiblebynature.com.
I know growing up you were a Mets fan, but you still had to try to imitate Luis Tiant at some point with the throwing motion, didn't you?
Absolutely. Who didn't?
Yeah.
Eyes rolled up to the sky.
Turning all the way back around to second base.
Fouled off. The thing is, back when you're 10 and 12, you could imitate Luis Tiant. Now, in our mid-40s, you try to imitate Luis Tiant and you twist your knee and you blow out your ACL.
Yeah, it's not as easy, is it?
No.
I mean, then it's Advil and a couple days of bed rest.
Yeah. People look at you strange. What's that guy doing? 0-2 on Upton with the runner going, and Drew about a third of the way to third base. Shuts it down. It's a stolen base for Drew.
Yeah, stolen base number 5 for Stephen Drew. And once again, is that split finger. Whoever tried to backhand it, with Stephen Drew going, that was his only option, is to try to backhand it and come up and throw it. But even at that point, he wouldn't have got it because Stephen had already started kind of going towards second base before Contreras even took off towards the plate.
One and 2 on Upton. Slider missed. 2-2. Here's something else that I know appealed to Dan O'Dowd. In Contreras' career, in September and October, he's 15-7 with a 3.62 ERA. There's Dan. In the postseason, 3-3 with a 3.77 ERA. So pitching in big ball games, meaningful games, is not going to phase this 37-year-old. 2-2 on the ground at third. Good pickup by Stewart, and he played it like Tulowitzki on the move. Solid inning for Contreras. Stephen Drew left in second. Mid-3, 2-1 Colorado. Seth Smith to lead it off. Rockies up 2-1. Carlos Gonzalez, a first inning home run. Seth Smith had a double, and Upton had trouble fielding it in the right field corner. He ended up at third after the error by Upton, and Todd Helton brought him around with a ground ball to the right side. 2-1 Colorado. Brandon Allen has hit a home run for the Diamondbacks. It's 1-1. Seth Smith between last night and tonight, already 5 for his last 6 at the plate. Last 12 ball games coming in, he's hit .424. And this ball is an easy play for Roberts at second. Today's E470 Road Ahead brought to you by E470 and Express Toll, the best way to save time and money. Arizona here tomorrow afternoon, then they'll take off. And the Reds will come in for 4, which will conclude this 10-game homestand for the Rockies. Note that Monday is a holiday, it's Labor Day, so we'll have an afternoon affair on Monday against the Reds. Same deal on Thursday, getaway day. And then the Rockies make their final visit to San Diego. This year they'll start a very key 9-game road trip. San Diego, San Francisco, Arizona.
And San Francisco will be right in the middle of their homestand. They have a nice long 9-game homestand against Arizona, San Diego, LA, and then the Rockies.
Right now they're 3-2 so far in their road trip. Lost 2 of 3 in Philly, but they're 2-0 in Milwaukee. 3-2 victories. The last coming earlier today for Matt Cain.
Going to beat Gallardo, one of the top pitchers for the Brewers and top pitchers in all of baseball.
Yeah. Todd goes down and fouls it off out of the reach of Gerardo Parra.
Hey, register online now at ColoradoRockies.com for your chance to purchase tickets for the Rockies postseason games. You can make your 2010 season ticket deposit today to guarantee your postseason ticket for 2009.
Davis missed there. 2-2 on Helton. One of the game's best 2-strike hitters. Hit it hard, but Drew is positioned perfectly. 2 outs, that'll bring up Tulowitzki. Doug Davis, originally signed by the Texas Rangers back in 1996, drafted in the 10th round that year. Reached the big leagues for the first time in 1999, got in a couple of ball games. Wasn't a pretty start to Davis's career. He pitched 2 2/3 innings in 1999, and he gave up 10 runs on 12 hits, including 3 home runs.
Well, in his career, he's just 6 games shy of being 500, 88-94 with the 4.28 ERA.
Ball cuts inside. 1 ball, 1 strike on Tulowitzki. High victory total came 2 years ago with Arizona when he went 13-12 in 33 starts. Here's the 1-1, and this ball bullet up the middle.
And that's staying through the ball right there from Troy.
There are only 3 days left for the Rocky Mountain Raffle early prize drawing. Entry deadline's Monday. Go to RockyMountainHomeRaffle.com. Sign up for your chance to win $10,000. And it benefits the boys and girls clubs of Metro Denver. And FSN has had a long partnership with a terrific organization. Rockies also heavily involved with the boys and girls clubs of Metro Denver.
We had a nice clinic with them earlier this year, back in, I think that was June, July, something like that. Where we,
in the heat of the summer.
It was fun, though, to see those kids and the joy.
You bet.
Learning the game of baseball. Davis is kind of old school as far as his move over to first base. He's one of those true guys that can come up and just really hold it for a second and read what you're going to do. If you start to take off, he could throw to first base. If not, he'll go home.
He slide steps there. You know, for a guy like Davis, for me, he better master all the nuances of the game because he's not going to outstuff you.
No, he has to outsmart you.
Right.
I mean, that's what his whole game plan is, being able to move the ball around, cut it, sink it, change it.
Big jump for Tulowitzki. No throw as Montero got hand-tied. And that is stolen base number 17 now for Troy Tulowitzki. On his way, perhaps, to a 2020 season.
Well, he just guessed and said, okay, as soon as that leg comes up, I'm going to go. And that was a straight steal, folks, because he never looked back over his left shoulder. He's just betting that Ryan Spilborghs is going to take a pitch for him.
You forget how young Tulowitzki is because he emerged as such a big star in his rookie year of '07. This ball's top foul, but that's a part of his game that he has developed lately. He's not a super flyer, but he's an outstanding athlete, and he has good functional speed. And now you're talking about a guy that can steal you 20, 25 bases a year. What a luxury. Oh, by the way, he has home run power of 25 to 30 or so.
It is nice to be able to steal those bases like that. But you really break it down, that's about 4 a month. And guys at the big league level, if they study enough, you can get 24, 25 stolen bases in 6 months.
Pitch counts, looking at moves.
Reading the catcher, seeing where he sets up. Does he spread out wider with his legs? That'll indicate maybe it's going to be a breaking pitch down in the dirt. Those are things you learn when you're watching the ball game in the dugout.
2-2 on Spilborghs with 2 outs. Rockies up 2-1. Pitch count at 58 for Davis. Davis's ERA, a very solid 3.78 coming in, but he has not pitched very well against the Rockies this year. Spilborghs, a strikeout victim. Foul tip. He can't believe Montero held it. With Tulowitzki left at second, we'll go to the 4th. The Rockies up 2-1. It is Saturday night, time for our AMCO Clutch Plays of the Week. How about that catch by Brad Hopp? Best defensive play of the night a few nights ago. And Jason Giambi, a 2-run pinch hit single on Wednesday. And if you didn't get enough of that, how about a pinch hit game-winning single, as it turned out last night in the bottom of the 8th. Our clutch plays of the week brought to you by our friends at Amco, AA, MCO. Miguel Montero, Gerardo Parra, Brandon Allen. 4, 5, and 6, and the drag bunt attempt. That's going to be a hit. Pretty creative by Montero.
Well, we saw him do that last night where he kind of faked the bunt. Ian Stewart went ahead and stayed back, but this is a different situation here. Leading off an inning, notice how deep that Ian is. So all he had to do was get it down somewhere over into that area. And the wise play from Ian not to pick up that ball and try to rush it, throw it away, and allow him to get to second base.
Gerardo Parra at the plate. He was baffled by a couple of splitters in the first at bat. Went down swinging. Parra, a spring training favorite of our friend Mark Grace, former teammate of yours. Gracie not working in the broadcast booth this weekend for Arizona, but he loved this kid. Though he started the year in Reno, he has come up and he has swung the bat really well. In fact, he leads all National League rookies in RBIs with 52.
Well, Gracie knows something about hitting, so he understands when a guy has the good mechanics at the plate and understands how to hit. Because Gracie could hit. Mark could hit as good as anybody. Choked up on the bat a little bit and didn't have the great power, but boy, alley to alley, he was solid.
And there's a base hit for Parra.
Got to look like a great swing right there.
Inside out, and now they're 2 on, nobody out for Brandon Allen, who hit one off the facade of the second deck in the second inning.
That's pretty quick bat speed.
Every guy that gets to the big leagues, Jeff, after your playing career, you worked as an instructor for a long time in the Cubs organization. Every guy that gets to this league has at least one skill that is major league.
Yeah, you have to be able to do something, whether it's you're able to hit, or you have power, or you have speed, or you have an arm strength as a pitcher. Something that allows you to get noticed above everybody else.
And for this kid at the plate, it's his power.
Well, and he's also playing a position that typically is a power position as a first baseman.
And now it's 2-0 on Allen. So Contreras got an issue here in the 4th inning. Gave up a base hit in the first, otherwise a very good first inning. The home run to Allen in the second. Other than that, he had a couple of punch outs in the second. Last inning, he walked Stephen Drew, but retired the next 2 hitters, and it's 3-0.
Well, the young guy like Allen in a ball game like this, your ball club, if you're AJ Hinch, 14 games under 500, can't just lay it in there. He might be swinging.
Montero at second, Parra at first. Three and 2.
He's just throwing all fastballs so far. Look for that splitter to come back into play now, working down and away from Allen.
He got it. That's a big strikeout. He comes all the way back and fans Brandon Allen. 1 out in the 4th. Chad Tracy coming up. Another check-in with Alana Rizzo with tonight's great Colorado Payback sideline report. Alana.
All right, Drew, thanks very much. A little bit more on Jose Contreras. He was born in Las Martinas, Cuba back in 1971, and he actually played for the Cuban national team as well as the Cuban National Series. He was named the Cuban Athlete of the Year on 3 separate occasions. In March of '99, Contreras pitched for the Cuban national team against the Baltimore Orioles in Havana, Cuba. He pitched 8 shutout innings and struck out 10. It was then that Major League scouts really took notice of him as a pitcher. Then in October of 2002, while pitching once again for the Cuban national team during the America Series in Saltillo, Mexico, that's when he actually defected from Cuba while he was Mexico, leading the Yankees to be able to sign him to a 4-year deal 2 months later, December 26, 2002. And although they celebrate Christmas in Cuba on January 6th, I'm sure it was a very nice present for him to be able to fulfill his dream and become a pitcher for the major leagues, guys.
All right, Alana, thank you for the additional background on Contreras. Chad Tracy struck out his first time up.
It just goes to show you the lengths some people go to play this game. I've seen guys defect to the Dominican Republic to go over there to then be able to come into the States through that way.
And a lot of these kids who defect from Cuba, they leave everything behind.
Yeah.
Most importantly, when you say everything, they leave mom and dad, brothers and sisters, extended family behind. Very, very difficult. Cannot imagine. 2-0 on Tracy, 2 on. Ground ball, it should be 2. There's 1. There's 2. Well done by Contreras. First and second, nobody out, no problem.
That's right. He knows how to get that ground ball double play, get out of the inning.
No, but when you have that tightness and that tight-knit group, it definitely helps. Reminds me a lot of the Oakland clubhouse, where I kind of grew up together, and they believe they can win every single game.
Yeah, speaking of the Oakland clubhouse, talking to Jason earlier today, he mentioned Oakland several times. He said, this clubhouse reminds me of that. It really does. So we were close. Guys fought for each other, had a lot of fun together.
The first Oakland time, not the second.
No, not the recent vintage.
Yes, the one, as he mentioned, where they all came up together. You have that special bond with guys that you come up through the minor league system with, and the Oakland A's, they did that back when Jason was coming up. They just promoted from within.
1 ball, 1 strike. In conversation with Carlos Gonzalez, I said, what do you think of Jason Giambi and some of these bigger than life baseball figures that you probably had their cards a couple years ago. He said, you know, I remember coming to FanFest. Remember last winter? He said, and I came with my brother-in-law, and I was so excited to meet Todd Helton. And he said, then Giambi walks in the clubhouse the other day, and he's even bigger in person than I thought he was.
Well, and that happened to me when I got traded over to the Texas Rangers. Walking in, there's Nolan Ryan. I mean, same sort of thing. This guy you just idolize, watching, going, oh my goodness, I'm in the same locker room wearing the same uniform as these guys.
Yeah.
And no matter how long you play the game, even if for a guy like Giambi to come over and say, oh, you know, there's help.
And this ball is pulled to first. Brandon Allen runs to the bag, 1 out. Stewart retired. Yorvi Torrealba coming up. Well, our Affleck trivia question concerns Mr. Giambi. Last night was Jason Giambi's 139th game-winning RBI. Who's the active leader in game-winning ribbies? There's Tulowitzki, and there is Giambi. They both went to school at Long Beach State. That school's turned out quite a few star-level players. Evan Longoria, last year's Rookie of the Year in the American League. Strike one on Torrealba. A guy that Giambi knows well, Bubba Crosby.
Former
Bobby Crosby,
Bobby
I should
Crosby.
say. I said Bubba Crosby, Bobby Crosby.
Former Rookie of the Year in the American League. Kind of sounds like a Bubba Crosby. I mean, I know his name's Bobby, but Bubba sounds good too.
Let's just call him Bubba then. Is that all right with you?
That's fine by me.
Should we check him? Should we check with them? You know, Davis quietly starting to do his thing,
Well,
Huey.
you know what?
He's given up 5 hits. The Rockies have had opportunities, but it's just a 2-1 score.
It kind of reminds me of last night with Dan Herron in the fact that got a couple runs early off of Herron. And then all of a sudden he got into that little bit of a comfort zone, able to mix his pitches up a little bit more. And that's exactly what Davis has done. You got him for the 2 runs early. And now he was able to pitch out of the inning in the second where he gave up back-to-back walks and then get the strikeout from Gonzalez to end the inning. The other thing, too, that Davis does, he just kind of lulls you to sleep. Takes a little bit of time in between pitches, very slow, deliberate motion when he comes up to the plate. A little pause, hesitation.
And this is in the air to right field, Upton waiting. 2 outs. That'll bring up Clint Barmas. Whatever happened to the Bubba Crosby? Is he out of baseball now?
I don't know.
He's with the Yankees for a few years.
I haven't heard his name in a while. I think he is out of baseball.
And this ball right at Upton. So the Rockies go in order in the 4th inning. It is 2-1 as we go to the 5th. game-winning RBI? Who's the active leader in game-winning ribbies? How about Gary Sheffield? 233. We should know. You know what, Doug? I want you to do a little research, which I know you love to do. What constitutes a game-winning RBI? Because it's kind of a misleading stat. Like Giambi's last night, I mean, that's a huge RBI. Bottom of the 8th inning, 4-4 game, line single. It's not to diminish the importance of other runs that are driven in the course of a game, but I think theoretically, if you drive in a run in the 4th inning to put your club up 3-2 and they end up winning 3-2, you can get a game-winning RBI.
So right now, I mean,
so right now, Todd Helton, I think, has a game-winning RBI if the score doesn't change.
Right.
We're gonna double check that. Yeah, it's an RBI that gives your team the lead, which it never relinquishes. So Carlos Gonzalez, actually Gonzalez has the game-winning RBI right now.
Yeah, because it was 1-0.
Right, and
then Helton got the second one.
But the second one, because the Rockies are still in the lead. Now, if Arizona were to tie the Rockies or go in front, then I think it should be 7th inning
or later.
There's very few people who care what I think, but just throwing it out there.
Well, then they'd have to change all the records and do all that. Wouldn't they put a little note in the record book, or are you just saying from this point forward?
Yeah, well,
how do you want to do it?
It's a base hit. So Chris Young, who can fly, is aboard. Time for tonight's Quest high-speed pitch. Doug Davis is topped out at 87. Jose Contreras is hit 95. That's brought to you by Quest high-speed internet.
Ian Stewart can really creep in at third base here. Davis and
I still think he's bunting.
Oh, he is, yeah. I mean, he's smart enough to realize that they're just holding it to see what he's going to do. He is going to be bunting. And now you could start crashing if you're Ian Stewart at third base. Davis has 5 sacrifice bunts this season. If you're Doug Davis, it helps to have a guy like Chris Young over there at first base, not some just guy that's a plotter over there and can't run very fast. So Davis doesn't have to realize the bunt doesn't have to be perfect. You got a guy that's slow over there, you just feel like you got to lay down the perfect bunt.
Well, this would be helpful if Contreras you get the strikeout on Davis. Hits are even at 5. The runs are not. The Rockies up 2-1. Both of their runs came in the first inning. Gonzalez home run. Seth Smith doubled. Reached third base because Upton had trouble picking it up in the right field corner. Helton brought him around. I think that's smart by Contreras, and that you have a guy at first base who has outstanding speed. 11 stolen bases,
right.
13 attempts.
Well, and also you could throw an off-speed pitch if you're Contreras now because you're holding him a little bit closer at first. What a pick from the orbit.
Anytime you make that kind of pick, there's good fortune involved.
Well, a lot of luck. I mean, you see where the ball is going, and then you stick your glove out there. We saw that earlier with the stolen base. by Stephen Drew that he was not able to pick at that time. He just put his glove where he hoped it was going to be, and then went right into the webbing.
Three and two. Stephen Drew is on deck.
Interesting to see what type of, how aggressive A.J. Hinch might be here. If he's going to
put him in motion.
Put him in motion.
Nope. And the bunt is a good one.
It just hugged that grass line area. Looked like it might have that spin where it'd go foul, but it didn't. It stayed fair. Hey fans, the first 10,000 of you 21 and older through the gates on Monday, September 7th, will receive a cooler bag courtesy of Coors. You can get your tickets to this game at any Rockies ticket outlet or online at ColoradoRockies.com. Come watch the Rockies take on the Cincinnati Reds.
So Stephen Drew hit a long drive to right center field that was tracked down by Ryan Spilborghs in the first, and then walked on 4 pitches in the third. Will step up. And a weak ground ball to second. Vargas handles it. 2 outs. Young at third. Bring up Ryan Roberts.
And what a pitch from Contreras, because he had gone after Stephen Drew the first 2 times up with first pitch fastballs. That time they went with something off speed. That third time you see a pitcher, you're looking still for that fastball. He got him out front, got the easy ground ball. Here's what I was talking about. Worked that sinker down and away. And before he'd gone with the 4-seam fastballs at 95. That last one was about 88, 89 miles an hour working away from Stephen Drew. But that's where Contreras sometimes will just invent pitches while he's out there on the hill.
Ryan Roberts, ground ball to third. That's a good job by Stewart. And an outstanding job by Contreras. Leadoff hit by Young. He would reach third, but didn't come home. 2-1 Colorado, middle of 5. The Rockies up 2-1. Here's tonight's Colorado Mining Association Power Hit of the Week. Tuesday, look where this ball traveled. Second deck shot for Carlos Gonzalez. Ball 1 on Contreras. What mineral cures an upset stomach? helps you bake bread and keeps your teeth clean. Huey, you got it? It's sodium.
Bicarbonate.
Yeah, it's sodium bicarbonate. Forgot that you studied chemistry at Wyoming. And the only place it is mined in North America is right here in Colorado. So if you're short of sodium bicarbonate, be thankful you live in the state of Colorado. Thank the Colorado Mining Association.
You didn't think I did that one, did you?
No, not in a million years. But I forgot. I forgot who I was dealing with.
Chemistry there.
1-2 on Contreras. Got to come up with that first big league knock right here. Nope. Can't believe with that hack he doesn't have a knock yet. Huey, you want to break that swing down?
Not really.
Okay.
I mean, only if I have to.
All right, 1 out. Carlos Gonzalez will come up. First time through the lineup, Jeff, the Rockies had 4 hits and a couple of hard hit balls. Second time through, they got 1 hit. That was Tulowitzki's 2-out single up the middle in the 3rd inning against Doug Davis.
Well, the difference is Davis has been able to throw an off-speed pitch for a strike, and he's really starting to work ahead. Earlier in the ball game, it was ball 1, ball 2, 2-1. And no changeup, no curveball for strike, so you just sit on the fastball.
Ooh, it's called a strike. It's 0-2. Evidently, Gonzalez never got the bat pulled back.
Well, just first blush, it looked like he did attempt this. You know, where the barrel is, when he kind of punched at it and tried to pull it back and sell it, that he didn't go.
And then he's got a battle with 2 strikes. Home run and a punch out for Carlos. They want the breaking ball bounced.
Well, that's how they struck him out back in the 2nd inning.
A little more of a comfort zone when you get in a 2-strike situation, Huey, with a guy like this, in that you know the fastball should beat you.
No, and very rarely will he come inside with the fastball. Most of everything will work away from him.
And he got him with a sweeping hook. 4 strikeouts for Davis. 2 outs in the 5th inning. He's retired 6 in a row. And he's retired 10 of 11. After a rough start in this ball game, I mean, the first 2 guys hit bullets. Gonzalez, a 430-foot home run, and then Seth Smith, a bullet to right. Davis had to be thinking, oh, it's going to be another long evening, but he's turned it around.
One of those Coors Field affairs that he's not too fond of.
One ball, 1 strike.
The other thing, too, is pretty much wherever Montero now is asking for the ball, he's been able to hit those spots. Montero wanted that ball down. Even though it was a ball, it was still right where he put his glove.
At the knees.
And another time, he didn't move his glove at all. And he just put it down there. Exactly where he wanted it.
That was a career high performance last night in terms of hits for Smitty. 2 singles, 2 doubles, drove in 3.
You did 4 hits last night, raised your average only 10 points coming into the ball game.
This is a base hit. A Helton base hit. Smith digging for second. Here's the throw. Safe at second.
Kicked the ball out.
He did kick the ball out. Smith knocked the glove right off the hand of Ryan Roberts. Roberts may have gotten spiked.
That's exactly what happened, Drew. He got spiked. Nothing dirty about the play, but it was a Helton swing. Yeah, but just down and away and just kind of fillets it over to the side, over to the 3rd base side. And it doesn't get any better now when you just flick those wrists and the ball goes all the way out there. He ran hard all the way to second base. And here the Hyundai cam will show exactly what happened. When he goes in, Roberts applies the tag, puts it right exactly where you want to, but just the momentum of the slide kicked the ball out of his glove.
Otherwise, as you can see, he's out.
I think another look at this play at second. Roberts does everything he does. He sweep tags, put the glove right there and tried to get his hand out of there, but it all came together at one quick instant.
1-0 on Todd, and he rips a base hit. Upton can really throw. He's got the baseball. Here's the throw to the plate. Not in time. Hilton drives in Smith, and it's 3-1. Colorado. Second RBI of the night for Hilton.
Well, I wasn't sure if Seth Smith was going to be able to score or not. Two reasons. That ball was hit so hard, and Justin Upton has a strong arm out in right field. Well, he just jumped on this fastball, hit it to Upton, just a one-hopper. It comes in, has all the momentum, and just cut the ball off. And cut it off, and it acted like a slider instead of having that four-seam where it hops and stays true on plane.
Ground ball to third, and the Rockies are done. But they rally with 2 outs. Seth Smith with the Hilton-esque double. And then after that impersonation, the real McCoy. FSN is brought to you by your Colorado Hyundai. Rockies add to their lead. It is 3-1. Justin Upton up in the top of the 6th inning, and a sharp ground ball past the diving Troy Tulowitzki. That's Upton's first hit in the series. He was 0 for 7 prior to that.
He just jumped on the fastball from Contreras. Tulo made the effort and the dive to try to reach it, just hit too hard by Justin Upton. Last 3 innings now for the D-backs. Their leadoff batter has reached base.
But so far, Contreras has given the Rockies everything he could have asked for. In the 6th inning, he's given up 1 run. And Colorado can work through this 6th inning and maintain that 2-run lead. Jim Tracy would be elated.
Yeah, the pitch count's not an issue. Next pitch is only his 70th pitch, so I mean he's fine.
look at the pitches by inning here for Contreras. Those are just very, very good numbers. Even the home run in the second inning, still only threw 16 pitches. Upton has 18 stolen bases over at first base, only been caught 4 times. That's why they're keeping him honest over there.
3-0.
I like what Yorvin Torrealba did right before he threw that ball back to Contreras. He just told him that he was flying open a lot on that front side. He's got the best look at the pitcher. Right now he's just telling him Montero might swing the bat. Even though it's 3-0.
Montero had a bunt single his last time up, also ground ball to second. Rockies have turned 1 double play tonight for Contreras. That ended the 4th inning, a 4-6-3 turn. 3-1 Rockies. They've out hit the Diamondbacks 7-6. Fouled into the 3rd deck. And as so often is the case, the ball not handled up there, and it drops all the way down to the first.
And he had a glove too, just misjudged it a little bit.
Great Saturday night crowd at Coors Field.
We'll look for Upton to run here. 3-2 count, guy like Montero, stay out of a double play.
He takes off, and it's fouled off.
Montero was trying to shoot the gap over at shortstop because he saw that Troy was covering the bag on that stolen base. And Montero was looking to hit the ball right over into that area right there. The hole vacated from Tula.
There goes the runner again. Broken back pop up. One out, Gerardo Parra coming up. This date in history is brought to you by Dex. Dex knows. September 5th, 1998, the Yankees reached the century mark in victories earlier than any other team in big league history, beating the White Sox 11-6. They're 138. Even just looking at that looks funny. The 06 Cubs and 54 Indians had shared the record, accomplishing the feat on September the 9th. So Parra with 1 out. Single and a strikeout tonight for Parra. Ball 1. Let me ask you a question. When you played in the middle of the infield, runner going in that situation, that's a little different because it was a broken bat, and the hitter and the runner can hear that. But on a pop-up where maybe it was on the barrel, were you a deke guy?
Oh yeah. And that's what we saw the other day with Clint Barmas and Troy when they were able to deke Pagan with the Mets. And that was fun to watch. Because if that ball's hit hard and you know it right away where it's going, then yeah, you go ahead and deke the base runner and hopefully he won't pick it up. But as a base runner, you got to pick up the third base coach. You can't trust those guys in the middle.
So if you were playing shortstop in that particular case, what would you have done?
I would have still tried to deke it, because I knew Clint would have had the ball. But on a 3-2 count, though, with the runner taking off, you'll glance over your shoulder. You know where the ball is hit, and you also, as you mentioned, hear the sound of the cracked bat. So you immediately freeze in your location.
So you may take off running to left center field like it was in the gap?
No, I wouldn't do that. I would act like it was a ground ball on the ground and fake the throw to second base if I was a shortstop. so far tonight. Contreras 7 ground ball outs, 6 fly ball outs, and 4 strikeouts.
Brandon Allen, who has supplied the Diamondbacks with their only run of the night, a solo home run in the second. He struck out in the fourth. Contreras starting in Aaron Cook's spot in the rotation. The last time Cook's spot came up, Josh Fogg made the start. There goes the runner, and the throw to second is not quite in time, evidently. Good throw by Torrealba. Good tag by Tulowitzki, but the feet of Upton were in there, and it's the 19th stolen base for Justin Upton.
Everything worked, and even the pick from Torrealba down in the dirt, but the slide to the back edge of the bag. That's what allowed Upton to get in there. Just the throw was right on the money. We'll take a look from the Hyundai cam, see if he got that foot in before the tag was applied. If he goes straight into the bag instead of to that back outside corner, he's out.
Three 3-0 on Allen with Chad Tracy on deck.
He had Brandon Allen 3-0 back in the fourth, and he came back and was able to strike him out. I like that call from Yorvik. 3-0 slider instead of just laying that fastball in there.
You saw what he was just doing. He's presetting the split.
He's done that a lot tonight. That's what he likes to do, and then it's easier to move to a slider or fastball grip.
And the fastball past Allen, 3-2.
Jose Lima, a pitcher for the Detroit Tigers, used to do that quite a bit. Preset the split finger. And they can show that's just a straight four-seamer with a little bit of tail right at the end. And now you struck him out with the slider down and in last time. You can go back to that or the splitty.
Splitter, and he got him. Allen is gone. Second time tonight. He's battled back from a 3-0 deficit and struck out Brandon Allen. Nice job, Jose Contreras. 3-1 Rockies mid-6.
Cam, we've been talking about Contreras' split finger all night long, and this is a great shot where we can see it split between the fingers and the way he pronates that wrist to get the downward action, and the ball acts a lot like a straight knuckleball pitcher would throw, one where it just spins out of the hand. Nice shot, and that is the Frost Brewed Coors Light Freeze Can.
All right, Huey, in the 6th inning, the Rockies will have Ryan Spilborghs, Ian Stewart, and Yorvit Torrealba to face Doug Davis. 3-1 Colorado. Inside ball 1. Rockies trying to improve to 4-1 on this 10-game homestand. Cincinnati will be in after the Diamondbacks. I talked to George about this the other day, and I want to solicit your opinion, Jeff. The Rockies at the start of this homestand, which was also the start of September, this ball is lined right at Chad Tracy, 1 out. They had 31 games left, and they were dead even at the time with the San Francisco Giants after the Giants swept the Rockies. They had 19 ball games at home, 12 out on the road. I felt like if the Rockies could split the 12 road games, that's 6-6 obviously, and go 13-6 at home, which is playing good baseball, not ridiculous baseball, but obviously really good at home, where they've always been good. They're good this year. That would give them 20 wins at that point in time, which would reach 91 victories for the year, 91-71. Do you think that will be enough to be in the postseason?
Not now. I mean, I would agree with you 3 or 4 days ago, but just look at the way the Giants play. I'm looking at 93, 94 wins are probably going to have to do it for you to get you into the playoffs. And you still look at it, and you go 6-6 out on the road and then come back. The thing about it, you still have the Cardinals to come in here on the next homestand. And then the Milwaukee Brewers. And no matter where the Brewers are, they still have some thump in their lineup with Braun and Fielder.
McGehee.
Yeah, Casey. So there are some guys there that can throw up some. They can throw up some numbers against the pitching staff.
One hopper to second.
And the other side of that equation, too, you look at San Francisco. They've got a lot of games at home, and some of their games, they still have 6 games against the Dodgers, 3 more against the Rockies. But they also have a couple series against the Padres, a couple more series against the Diamondbacks.
Now, the Diamondbacks are going to be one of those teams like the Padres that have an opportunity to play a spoiler role. 2 outs, Yorvit Torrealba at the plate. Well, then you do your math. The Rockies right now 3-1 on this homestand. With the Reds coming in, who, by the way, tonight won again. They've won 6 in a row, which is probably a good thing. Let them have their winning streak now before they get to Denver. This ball deep in the hole, and this is a tough chance for Drew. He got it.
Arm strength. Well, I thought once it got by Chad Tracy over at third, that Drew was not going to be able to make that play, but he did. Rockies still lead 3-1 though.
Rapid rewind. AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered. We go to the 7th inning, and Jose Contreras still out there. He's allowed a run on 6 hits. He's down with a little bit of traffic tonight, but he has controlled the bat speed of Arizona, and the Rockies in the 7th, just in case, will get a couple of men up. Beimel on the left side and Matt Daly on the right side. Chad Tracy, Chris Young, and then the pitcher spot for the Diamondbacks.
And that's a good thing for Contreras, because you're working with the bottom third of the lineup for the D-backs. You can get through this, and you can turn it over to the bullpen next inning.
And this is a pop-up that may very well be playable in foul ground. It is. Stewart makes the catch.
An all-important first out of an inning, especially a guy like Chad Tracy, who has been a Rockies killer in his career.
Well, he's the only guy in the lineup who would face Contreras coming in. Take a look at our Geico quote of the night from Eric Burns, who was activated again today. I've already gotten booed at AAA Colorado Springs, so I'm not worried about it on his return to Coors Field after falling out of favor with the fans in 2007. Swung on and missed by Young. Burns was telling us about that before the ball game. He laughed about it. I think he relishes being the villain.
He does.
He will be in the starting lineup tomorrow.
Monday Cam will give a great shot of the slider right off the bat, then off the mask of your Villarreal.
Here's the 0-2 and a ground ball to Chip Hale at third. Nice job by Chip.
And the next Dollar Hot Dog Night is Tuesday, September 8th, and we talked about the Cincinnati Reds will be in town. The first 10,000 fans through the gates will receive a coupon for a $1 hot dog courtesy of Hebrew National. Call 1-800-388-ROCK to get your tickets today.
Just missed.
Doug Davis is still has a bat, and he's on the on-deck circle. See A.J. Hinch letting him swing. Gave that hard slider split away from Chris Young.
And a base hit. Young can really run around first. Spilborg's quickly to the baseball and hold him to a single. So a 1-out knock. Davis will be called back. And it'll be Alex Romero. Here's Clay Zavada.
One of the two lefties they have out in their bullpen. The other one, Daniel Schlereth, who we saw last night.
Yeah, we were talking to Mom and Dad tonight, and Daniel needs a haircut, huh?
Yeah, Mom said she was bringing the clippers down to the hotel.
One out, one on. Romero at the plate, pinch hitting for Davis. Ball one.
They're 4 for 15 as a pinch hitter this year.
One and one. If your windshield needs fixing, please call Colorado's #1 team, Elite Safelite Auto Glass, at 303-287-5000 or visit safelite.com. And Romero with a base hit. Young is going to head to third, And that wasn't what you wanted to see. If you're Arizona, the runner behind tried to move up Romero, and he's out. Initially, from the Rockies standpoint, you didn't want that baseball going to third, but it worked out.
Yeah, it did work out, but I'm sitting up here watching this whole play unfold, and I'm like, oh no, because Romero hits the ball, and Young had to freeze just for a second. Wasn't quite sure where it was going to be, and then when Carlos comes up and doesn't throw it to second base, I'm saying, uh-oh, because here we go. We got second and third, and you take the double play out of order, but the relay, because of Romero, hesitated right there. If he keeps going right away, he's safe, but now he's out because the throw's on the money. But what a job for Contreras.
What a job. Jose Contreras in his Rockies debut gets a standing ovation from the great crowd here at Coors Field. Joe Bible will come on to face Stephen Drew when we come back. 3-1 Colorado. A hug. Contreras in his Rockies debut goes 6 2/3, and he leaves with his club up 3-1. Runner at third, 2 outs. Joe Bible will be asked to get Stephen Drew. This call to the bullpen brought to you by Comcast Digital. Home phone service. Warm up to unlimited local and long distance. Call 1-800-COMCAST. Stephen Drew hitting just 186 this year against lefties. Joe Bible has allowed lefties to hit 234 against him.
That's a good pitch to start off with, too. With Drew, he's a good fastball hitter. He come in with that big curveball at 73 miles an hour. Arizona hit so far in the series just 1 for 15 with runners in scoring position.
15th appearance in a Rockies uniform for Bible. Here's the 0-1, and it's popped up. Well done. Stewart calling for it. Stewart's got it. Joe Bible gets his man. Stretch time at Coors Field. The Rockies ahead of the D-backs, 3-1. 1. Let's check in again with Alana Rizzo downstairs. Alana.
All right, Drew, thanks very much. Brad Hopp sitting this one out for a couple of reasons. Jim Tracy not necessarily wanting another left-handed batter up against lefty Doug Davis, and also because he's struggling a bit at the plate. There's certainly no secret about that. Jim Tracy joked today and said that Brad was spending some time in the lab with Dr. Baylor and working on his swing. And I talked to Don Baylor about what he's been working on. He's like, you know what, we have dissected it as much as we possibly can. We took a step back for a little bit, and he goes, but when you go 0-4, he kind of joked with me, and he's 0-4. He said, you know what? It's at crisis time right now. And he said the biggest thing, he's getting pounded inside and he's cheating himself. And because of that, he has, you know, it's where his shoulder starts to fly and he's not able to hit the ball the other opposite way. And that's his power area. He said the one thing with Brad Hopp is we continue to go back to the positives when he was swinging well, the swing that made him an all-star. No question, Brad Hopp will be back sitting this one out, guys.
A lot of times when you start to get beat inside a lot, you start to cheat to try to get to that area. And that's kind of what's happening with Brad Hopp's swing right now. Just working underneath the ball, not taking the barrel straight to the ball, but that front elbow is flying open a little bit, and then the barrel drops underneath the ball.
Well, with one out, Huey, here comes Eric Young Jr. to pinch hit for Byron. The crowd giving EY a warm reception because his dad will always have the key to this city.
Yes, he will. Well, he was also the key to that 7th inning last night with the pinch hit walk.
Absolutely.
Allowed him to score a couple runs on Seth Smith's double.
Clay Zavada on the hill. Scored upon in 7 of his last 8 outings.
Since the All-Star break, going one with the 3.93 ERA.
Rockies 8th inning man, Rafael Betancourt. This is warming.
So far, it couldn't be diagrammed any better for Jim Tracy. He goes 6 2/3 with Contreras. Brimel comes and gets the one lefty that he has to face. And then you got the 8th inning guy Betancourt and your 9th inning guy Morales now.
Yep, well managed by Jim Tracy in that inning. Especially when the Rockies got that bonus out, if you will, on the base pass.
That was huge.
Bunted in the air and grabbed by Chad Tracy. 2 outs, nobody on, and that'll bring up Carlos Gonzalez. Zavada's interesting in that he started his career in late May, made his big league debut against Florida, earned the win with a perfect 9th inning. He went 19 consecutive games, 18 innings to start his career without allowing an earned run. The longest streak in franchise history, the 4th longest in big league history among relievers since 1954. So I guess when they started tracking with relievers. And then he hit the inevitable
bump in the road.
Here's the 1-0. Good swing.
Hey, if you're traveling and can't see your Rockies here on FSN Rocky Mountain, follow the game on your iPhone and iPod Touch with MLB.com at Bat 2009, featuring play-by-play, real-time box scores, and video highlights. Visit ColoradoRockies.com on your iPhone or iPod Touch to purchase today.
Good eye by Gonzalez. Carlos, a long home run to dead center field his first time up, and a couple of strikeouts. Yeah, last night kind of a typical ball game of late for Gonzalez. 2 for 4 and a walk, so he's on base 60% of the time, and he scored 2 runs. This ball's hit a long way to left near the line. Nice running catch made by Parra, and the Rockies go 1-2-3 in the bottom of the 7th inning. We'll go to the 8th. Betancourt will be aboard. 3-1 Colorado.
I think it's a group guys here, and seeing one of the leaders is Todd Helton. And when you have a leader like that, you know, I think it's easy for all the guys, especially younger guys, to be able to play their game. And but since I get here, you know, everybody is treating me well, and you know, I appreciate that, and you know, and I feel like I've been here for a long time too.
Well, Rafael's a good guy, and he fit in perfectly well from Jump Street.
Man, he's pitched very well too. I mean, you think about this: 19 games with the Rockies, 17 scoreless innings. Also had 12 hitless innings in the Rockies uniform.
This call to the bullpen brought to you by Comcast. Warm up to unlimited local and long distance. Call 1-800-COMCAST. Well, Rafael in the 8th will be in the middle of the lineup for Arizona. Ryan Roberts, Justin Upton, Miguel Montero. Colorado 3. And the Arizona Diamondbacks 1. Arizona's actually out-hit the Rockies 8-7. Strike one. Rockies last night, a 5-4 victory. They had 13 hits in the contest. Roberts is single in 3 trips.
Betancourt's the whole key to his success is being able to spot and hit his locations. He works the outside part of the plate as well as anybody that I've seen in a while.
Pop up left field. Seth Smith is out there. 1 out. There are only 3 days left for the Rocky Mountain Raffle early prize drawing. Entry deadline's Monday. Go to RockyMountainHomeRaffle.com. Sign up for your chance to win $10,000. Again, it benefits boys and girls clubs of Metro Denver. 1 out, and Justin Upton coming up.
Sure is nice to see Upton coming up with nobody on base, especially with Mark Reynolds out of the lineup, the other big power guy. And the two-run lead.
Talk about hitting your location on the outer third. And I think back to one of the game's great closers of all time. I think Houston Street has some similarities to the guy I'm about to mention, Dennis Eckersley, but he would just paint the outside corner all day.
All day long, and whether it was a fastball or a slider, didn't matter. He just worked it, dropped down, and hit it. It seemed like it was 0-1, 0-2 all the time against that.
You see that pitch he missed location on, and it had some run, so it ate up the bat, and it's 0-2. But that's what happened against Renteria.
Yes. Yeah, he did miss his spot on that pitch. Went to Renteria, was supposed to be outside, and it came back to the inside part of the plate. And try to get up and chase his fastball right up in that area, right there.
Missed again, but Upton didn't bite, and it was too far inside, so it's 1-2. Upton a single in his last at bat, his first hit in this series. Also had a stolen base. 1 out, nobody on. Rockies up 3-1. Rockies will see Arizona in a couple of weeks down in the desert. There's the slider.
Fastball away. Another slider. What do you think, Drew? I think he's going to go with the slider.
Well, with the two-run
fastball away.
Fastball away. That's his pitch. And listen, he can't get beat on a home run.
Right there.
Fastball away on the black. See you later. How about that? Does that work for you?
Yeah, that's perfect. And he set up exactly where Yorvit wanted. Didn't even have to move. That just allows Jerry Davis to make the call very easily because he's seen it the whole way. and that's an easy call for the umpire.
Two outs. Miguel Montero will step up. Oh, 0-1 on Montero. How about this? This is the 102nd meeting at Coors Field between the Rockies and Diamondbacks. And until last night, it was tied at 50-50. The Rockies now had 51-50, hoping to improve to 52-50. And the Diamondbacks have had a decided advantage down at the Desert. Ball and 1 strike on Montero. And a chopper to second. Barmes flips over. Betcourt. Another 1-2-3 inning for Rafael. The Rockies lead at 3-1. Middle of 8 at Coors Field. Rockies 3, Diamondbacks 1. Rockies got off to a quick start, led 2-0 at the end of 1. Seth Smith was in the middle of that. He had a double in the first inning and scored a run. He had a double in the 5th inning and scored the Rockies' 3rd run. Clay Zavada's 2nd inning of work. Helton on deck. That's a strike. With Jeff Houston and Alana Rizzo, I'm Drew Goodman. Earlier today, actually this evening to be precise, the Giants held on for a 3-2 win over Milwaukee. This ball is hit high in the air, deep right field. Take a good look. You won't see it for long. Seth Smith's 13th big fly. Make it 4-1. Mr. Late Night strikes again.
I'm just sitting up here laughing because he's making this look so easy. Another one left on left, and it didn't really matter to him. He got early in the ball game, hit a double, and now he go back inside, and as soon as he hit it, he knew it was gone too. He just drops back, puts his head down, and starts trotting around. Man.
Helton hits a fly ball to shallow left, and a running catch by Parra. One out, and that'll bring up Tulowitzki. Game's pretty easy for number 7 these days. What a ball game again for Smith after 4 hits last night. He's got 2 doubles and a home run tonight, so that's 4 doubles and a home run in his last 2 nights.
I just love the Hyundai Cam, the way it shows the extension and then the high follow through to get the arc on the baseball.
I think this lefty sets up better for Troy than Davis. I mean, Troy's a bring the heater kind of hitter.
Yeah, and that's what Zavada does. His fastball is 90 miles an hour compared to 83, 84 for Davis. Not this time.
No, swinging a breaking ball, and he's out 5-3. Spilborghs will come up. Franklin Morales. He's getting ready in the Rockies bullpen. Those gloves will not be used again.
No more. But that's why you have about 3 dozen batting gloves up in your locker, just for those instances when they just don't feel right.
Remember when Matt Holliday would have an at-bat that didn't please him? He would literally rip them off his hands. And when those gloves are new, and players typically don't wear their gloves very long, so they're always new or close to it. Huey, you explain this. For a man to be that strong, just rip the glove off their hands.
It's very difficult to do, but Matt's strong enough to do it. I can never do it. I just had to rip the gloves off.
You had to show anger in a different way.
Different way, right.
Rats, fellas. Boy, I'm really hot.
Go on it.
Give me something I can break. Is there any balsa wood in the dugout? Give me that pretend bat. I'll break it over my head.
I tried to do it a couple times. It didn't work, so I had to resort to a different method.
Boy, imagine if you did the Albert Bell over the top of your head.
Oh, I'd be knocked out.
2-2. Spilly needs a birthday hit. 0 for 3 on this his 30th birthday. Hit it hard as last time up. Lined out to Chad Tracy. I'm just guessing that Seth Smith will be in the lineup again tomorrow.
I think so, and then maybe the day after that, too, and the day after that.
And Zavada strikes out Spilborghs, but Seth Smith plays ping pong with the seats in right again. And the Rockies have a 4-1 lead as we head to the ninth. We've arrived at the ninth inning at 20th and Blake. The Rockies leading the Diamondbacks by 3 runs. As is always the program here on FSN Rocky Mountain, after the ball game, You'll see that man, Tom Helmer, and the Rockies postgame report. Tom?
Yes, and we'll be talking about, Contreras, Jose Contreras, making his Rockies debut, and it was a nice one at that. We'll also talk about Gonzalez, Carlos Gonzalez, going Ricky Henderson style in the first inning, and we're going streaking. We're going to talk about Yorvi Torrealba as he continues to build on his career-high hitting streak. That's coming up after the game. Drew?
Tom, we want viewers, so can we eliminate that third subject? I don't know if going streaking is going to attract the folks.
Come on, Drew. You don't think?
No, I don't think.
That's cruel, Drew. That's cruel.
Honesty hurts.
That stuff sells, man. That stuff sells.
Yeah, you're probably right. All right, buddy. We'll see you in a little bit.
You got it.
Right now, we'll somehow make that segue to Alana Rizzo.
Yeah,
I'm
not
going to
be
zip it right there.
Either. Yeah, I agree with you, Drew. No streaking. All right, a little bit more on Franklin Morales. I had a chance to talk to Jimmy Wright, the Rockies bullpen coach, about the transition that he's made from really starter to reliever to now closer temporarily while Houston Street is out. He said he has done a phenomenal job. There's not that much of a transition period really between starter and reliever, but from starter to closer, there's a huge difference. The fact that you have to immediately be ready to come into the game. Your heart's pounding. You got to be ready to go. He's done a tremendous job. He's worked on his mechanics. He's much more online now. He's not throwing so much across his body like he used to be. He's doing a great job. Let's see if he can go for his third save tonight, guys.
Well, by the boos, you know who's pinch hitting a lot. Eric Burns has stepped up to pinch hit for Gerardo Parra against Morales, and in his return to the big leagues, he takes a strike.
Remember, the booing doesn't bother him though.
I think, you know what, he's one of those people. I think he thrives on it. He's way out in front. It's 0-2. Burns has been out for a while. He had his hand broken on when he was hit by a pitch, and he had to have surgery. Missed 64 games. Got hit June 25th against Texas. Here's the 0-2. You know, I'm laughing also because it's the big leagues, right? He's been out for more than 2 months. Hey, go get the guy with the 98-mile-an-hour heater.
And the hard 87, 89-mile-an-hour slider. Go get him.
Welcome back. And it's punched to the right side, a base hit. So he got that 96-mile-an-hour fastball. Fans, feed your Rockies fever at Taco Bell. Remember, when the Rockies score 7 or more runs during a ball game, go to participating Colorado Taco Bell locales the next day. Between 4 and 6, get 4 tacos for $1. There's the number 7. Rockies lead it right now 4-1. Rusty Ryle will pinch hit for Brandon Allen.
Ryle faced Morales in last night's ball game, came in to pinch hit for Romero in the 9th inning and struck out on some high fastballs.
You know, what is foreign territory, there are a couple of areas. Morales pitching in the 9th inning. He's done it successfully now twice. But remember, for the most part, if he pitched one day, he didn't pitch the next day. And now he's going back-to-back days. And I asked Jim Tracy about that 2 days ago, and he said he was comfortable with it as long as the pitch count in one of his 9th inning appearances wasn't outlandish. You know, he didn't have 30, 35 pitches to get through the 9th inning.
And last night he didn't have that many pitches where he felt like it was going to be a detriment coming back and pitching today. In his last 2 ball games, 2 innings pitched, 0 hits, just 1 walk. And of course, he got the hit tonight by Burns, but 2 strikeouts, 1 ground ball out. And last night he threw 16 pitches.
Swung on and missed. He gets the strikeout of Ryle.
To further illustrate your point, Drew, that you were talking about, 16 pitches on Friday, had the day off on Thursday, wasn't used in the day game. 38 pitches last Sunday, so he's had a lot of rest. So for him to now throw tonight, come back, even throw again tomorrow, and then with Monday being another day game after day game tomorrow, you could conceivably see and hopefully see him for 3 or 4 straight days.
Another pinch hitter. This will be John Hester for Chad Tracy. The guy they're holding back is Mark Reynolds. They want If they're going to use Reynolds, it's going to be to tie the game.
Yeah, and the pitcher spot is due up two doors down after Young.
In the air down the right field line. This could be a problem. If it's fair, it's foul.
Fans are still booing Burns. Burns had ran all the way almost to third base on that ball.
Oh-2 popped up. Right side, Barmes going back. 2 outs. That'll bring up Chris Young. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Colorado Rockies and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Colorado Rockies. 2 outs. Eric Burns at first. Rockies ahead 4-1. Chris Young 2 for 3 tonight. Reynolds has come out on deck. Slider and a beauty.
74 miles, almost 21 miles an hour than that last pitch he threw to Hester to get him to pop up at 95 mile an hour fastball, come back 74 miles an hour.
Yeah, more of a curveball. And a line drive, good by Helton. He dropped it. He's got a flip to Morales. That's the ball game. What a play by Helton.
Good thing he was playing behind the runner.
Absolutely. That took a double away, and it kept Reynolds from coming up in the ninth. The Rockies win it 4-1. They keep that 1-game lead on the San Francisco Giants in the wild card race. And they're now 4-1 on this homestand. Seth Smith, another big offensive show. Let's look one more time at that play Helton just made.
This ball was rocketed right off the heel of Todd's glove, but smart enough, and also give a lot of credit to Franklin Morales, not get caught watching that, got over there to make the play.
Our Jimmy John's delivery of the ball game, Jose Contreras. Earlier in the day, Jim Tracy was very honest. He said, hey, I love the fact that it's a change of scenery. He said, but we don't know what to expect. He did not have a great year in Chicago, but tonight he was terrific. 6 2/3. He allows a run on just 8 hits that he scattered, 5 strikeouts, a walk. Jose Contreras, a very successful Colorado Rockies debut. He gets the win. The loss to Doug Davis. Morales 3 for 3 in save opportunities. 4-1 Colorado.